So, let's talk about this week in wrestling. I don't know why I'm sounding like that. It's just weird. I'm gonna stop.
You get too much power.
That's a great show. Let's start there.
Okay.
I love that show. NWA Powerrr on YouTube. If you're not watching it, please go watch it. Please go support. Great show. It's a freaking great show.
I have like a love-hate relationship with it. You know what I mean? Like, because, okay, you grew up more of a WCW person, so like, that's more your taste. Whereas I'm more of a WWE guy, and WWE was never like that, even back in the day. So, like, the whole studio and all that, like, the promos and all that, like, I really don't like that, but, like, a lot of the wrestling is good, and I'm not shitting on every single person. It's, like, a few, because there's a lot on there that I actually like, they brought back Mr. Anderson, those of you might know him as Mr. Kennedy. Colt Cabana was there, Kenny King from TNA days, and along with Homicide, what's his name? Tom, I forgot his last name, but Bram, like he kept calling him Bram.
Dude.
Yeah, that one guy that you said is gonna star. I forget his name at the moment. You're gonna remember as soon as I say that. But like
his name is Ricky Stark. Stark.
He's good.
He's a fucking star.
Yeah.
But yeah, it brings me back, like just watching the show brings the feels back of old school WCW. It just brings back the feel of like the 80s. It's just so awesome. They even have commercials, 80s commercials in the show. They're fake as hell, but they're 80s commercials in the show. It is fucking awesome. The show is awesome. The promos are hilariously great. Like, Damien Sandow, Aaron Stevens, is in NWA, and he cut this promo in front of the crowd, and he was talking about being an actor, and they kept calling him an extra and a stunt double. It was so fucking hilarious. And Ricky Starks cut a promo. Ricky Starks wrestled Trevor Murdoch, and if you watch WWE, like in 2004, Trevor Murdoch and Lance Cade, Trevor Murdoch is still wrestling, and he's in NWA. And he lost to Ricky Starks. Yeah. He looks exactly the same. But Ricky Starks, he beat him and then cut this amazing promo. And I was like, dude, Ricky Starks is a fucking star. Yep. James Storm is the NWA North American champion. And he comes out and cuts this promo. And this promo had me so hyped. I'm not even a huge fan of James Storm. I was so hyped for James Storm. The show is it just gets you in the feels. And the wrestling, like their squash matches, most of them, and it's just like totally one-sided. And like the guys shine, and it's fucking awesome. They usually have like the main event is just a match between like two actual wrestlers, and it usually plays into the story, but the whole show is just awesome. It's on YouTube. It's free for everybody. Please go watch it and support NWA Powerrr. It is fucking awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of it. I love the wrestling, and like I'm slowly getting into it because again, like I wasn't a WCW guy growing up, but like it's not bad at all. You know what I mean? I'm not hating. It just like it wasn't my forte then. It's something to get used to if you're not used to that style. You know what I mean? The one thing I'll say, the crowd was hot. You know what I mean? Like they weren't like. I want to say it was the last episode or the episode before that, we talked about the toxic fans. None of those seemed toxic. Like, you kind of felt the love of wrestling through them. You know what I mean?
It's one of those wrestling shows that gives you the feel of, if you love wrestling, this is the show for you. Yeah. It's just, wow. Like, just wow. That's all I can say about it. It's just wow.
Yeah, it was good. Like, don't take me not saying it's not for me as it's a bad thing. You know what I mean? I'm going to continue watching it regardless. You know what I mean?
But yeah, guys, check it out.
Yeah.
And speaking of YouTube, let's talk about AEW Dark. I really like the concept of the dark matches, the matches we had before AEW Dynamite. Is they put them on YouTube and let everybody see them. But this week they had like a really big match, and they just threw it on YouTube and never talked about it again. It was Joey Janela versus Kenny Omega in a street fight. And they did some crazy shit. And it's like, well, that was on YouTube. Who gives a shit? Like, wait, nobody's going to bring it up? Nope. Doesn't exist. Like, oh, okay. Well, that's
it's like, because I haven't watched it yet. So, in essence, it's basically AEW just because.
Basically.
Oh, okay.
It's like, and when Kenny came out this Wednesday, it was like it wasn't even reflected in his record as a 1 win for a singles match. So if you're going to count everything, like count AEW Dark, please.
Yeah,
just make me watch just because.
Yeah, because the Wednesday night. So what the hell?
I have enough wrestling to watch, and I don't want to watch something just because it doesn't make sense and there's nothing to it. Yeah. Please make it make sense. Thank you.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's get into what? What were you gonna say?
Nothing, but yeah, go ahead.
So let's get into the WWE 2019 draft. Let's get into the draft.
It was weird, in my opinion.
It was so super weird. It was just ridiculously. Some of the stuff that was happening was like, what the fuck? There were people that were getting drafted to shows they were already on. And it was like, why? Just why? Explain to me why. You know why? I don't know why.
SmackDown, what was it? AJ Styles and the OC on Raw. Like, what the hell?
Drew McIntyre got drafted to Raw, who was already on Raw.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? It's just so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
They made a few little changes here and there. They put Becky officially on Raw and Charlotte, who was the female Miz during draft time, who gets drafted to every show each year. So Charlotte's on Raw this time. It was a lot of weird things. Sasha's on SmackDown. Some of this stuff doesn't make any sense. Like, they drafted Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross as a tag team. They're a tag team, but they got drafted in 2 separate picks to Raw.
I don't know about you, but like, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but like, a lot of those were like kind of like, what the fuck's to me? Because like, for instance, like Becky, right? She's the Raw Women's Champion, right?
Yeah.
Come to find out, she actually was a SmackDown person, though, if you really broke it down. Like, we actually had to go back and think of that.
Yeah, no, she was definitely a SmackDown person.
Yeah. So she's officially on Raw now, so.
Yes, officially on Raw. But the Nikki Cross and Alexa thing, they separated them as 2 draft picks and then turned right around and drafted them back to SmackDown as 1 pick. It was like, what? Why?
It was weird.
And like, they did a trade on WWE Backstage where they got Nikki Cross and Alexa to SmackDown, which later on, what that means for Raw, they get a future draft pick for the trade. So as it looks right now, it's going to be Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt, he's on SmackDown, and he's beefing with Seth Rollins. They're still beefing. We're going to talk about why they're still beefing. But there's a few matches coming up that's going to have Seth Rollins versus The Fiend. And they're going to draft him back to Raw because it's going to be for the Universal title. And that's weird. But I don't know. What?
Yeah.
But the draft was just fucking weird. It's like, a lot of the shit didn't make sense. And then the people that didn't get drafted, that were just basically floating around, at the end of the day, they just wound up staying on the fucking show that they were on. Mojo Rawley, what is that guy's name? No Way Jose. They just fucking stayed on Raw. They stayed on Raw. Dana Brooke stayed on Raw until she got drafted this morning when WWE decided, hey, fuck it, we're just going to throw her on SmackDown. Now she's on SmackDown. Have no fucking clue what's going on. None of this shit makes sense to anybody at all. Sorry.
Shit.
Like, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were on SmackDown, and they were free agents. Guess where the fuck they wound up? Right back on fucking SmackDown. The fuck is the point? What is the point?
There is no point.
Chad Gable got drafted to SmackDown. But wait, Chad Gable was already on fucking SmackDown. This draft made no fucking sense. If it was going to be a real draft, people should have got drafted to fucking different places. Like, it's...
Something Shorty G?
I hate you.
You already pissed off, so I had to go there. But go ahead.
I hate you. But yeah, it's like, the fuck? Like, this draft could have been better. We're going to see how it turns out. We're just going to... Whatever. It's happened. It's there. I'm going to calm down. You tell me your takes on the draft.
And
fuck this draft.
Weirder is the fact that, okay, first of all, they had, like, I want to call her a host, Stephanie.
Yes.
Like, he was hosting it, whatever, and she was on both shows. Okay, there's no longer general managers, what have you, and whatnot. But in my mind, they're two different shows, two different channels, two different fields. So I expected one show to differ from the other the way they did it. Exact same way. They did have 5 or 6 rounds, and each round had like 5 or 6 people in there, and/or teams, and it was just weird.
It was just fucking weird.
The funny part about it, like, I don't know if it was, like, you told me about it. I don't know if it was on Twitter or WWE.com itself, where they kind of sort of leaked everything before it happened.
Okay, they sent out like an email thing, and the email had like, these are the people who's in the draft pool, and it was out there, and it was on WWE.com.
Okay.
If you look at the pool, the draft pool, the exact order of everybody getting drafted was on that draft pool. Everybody from top to bottom got drafted the exact same way it was on that pool. Nothing changed. It was exactly the same.
At one point, they switched it up, though, because they caught on that we knew. So
They switched it up, but still wound up going back to it eventually. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, the fuck? Like, you guys, like, they didn't try at all. It was just bad. Whatever, man. Like, we're just gonna see what happens.
And like, the way they was saying it, right? The way they described the draft at first, it was like 70 picks. Fucking Raw gets more because it has like 3 hours, obviously, just like all the time. SmackDown gets the first pick, but everyone else, they can, like, the way I understood it is they can go wherever the hell they want. Like, they can fuck around.
That's exactly how it was supposed to be. That's how it was supposed to be, but they fucked up.
Yeah. So I expected people to go NXT. None of that happened. So.
Not at all. Like, the fuck, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. Let's talk about the show that was SmackDown and/or Raw.
Okay.
SmackDown started off with Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the number 1 pick and the draft. The Fiend showed up and like kidnapped Seth Rollins, but let him go. And then the match was over, and no one has no fucking idea who won, so they just went with the draft and said fuck it. And they never said who won. I don't give a fuck what anybody said. They never said who won. They never said who won by disqualification. None of that shit. This was another fucking WWE fuck up where they fucked up. Nobody won. Fuck that shit. Nobody fucking won.
I mean, if you analyze it though, right? So, okay, like the match was over and whatever. Technically, SmackDown should have won that because DQ, right? wrong. Raw got the first draft pick though.
Exactly. Raw got the fucking first draft pick when SmackDown should have won. But hey, whatever. Whatever, guy. Whatever. They had a cool match between the OC and don't remember how it wound up. Oh, I do remember how it wound up. AJ Styles got caught with Trouble in Paradise, and there's no follow-up to it because both teams are on two different brands. We'll never see follow-up to it, and that's it. That's how that rolls.
Basically.
And Charlotte fought Bayley, and Bayley came out.
The new improved Bayley.
Yes, she cut her hair, and she cut the Bayley buddies, and she beat Charlotte and won the title, and said, "Screw those kids." And she's the new and improved Bayley, and also the new and improved SmackDown Women's Champion.
Boom.
So that was the thing.
Yeah, I actually liked it there.
Yes. And then we went on to Raw, where it was Becky versus Charlotte. Once again, I have no idea if anybody even won the fucking match. The match was just over. The winner got the draft pick, the first draft pick for the show that night. Who won? Couldn't tell you, but they just went along with the draft because there was no real winner. Just saying. Go ahead, defend it. Defend them.
No, I wasn't defending it at all. I was like, I just got quiet because I agree with you.
Oh, I thought she was going to defend it. And then the War Raiders had a match against the tag team champions, Rudolph, and they beat Rudolph for the tag team championships. And the Viking Raiders cut a promo after that and mentioned every tag team title they had. The IWGP Tag Team Champions, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the NXT Champion, and the Raw Tag Team Champions. It was a kind of shocker because it was like, whoa, they mentioned everything? Yeah, that popped me. I was like, whoa, they actually did mention everything? But I'm glad they did.
One of them posted it on Instagram, like all their title wins.
Yes. And they take the same pools every title win.
Yep.
And that's pretty awesome, though. And then we had Ricochet versus Apollo Crews. It was a good match, but I just can't believe that Spider-Man was in that match. It was so awesome. Because Jerry Lawler said it about 150 million times that, hey, he's just like Spider-Man. He does superhero stuff like Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man. Spider-Man. He's like, come on, dude. Just shut the fuck up. Shut up.
They need to get rid of Jerry Lawler. Like, seriously.
Yes, because he's just, it's something about him with his old school stuff that is just not connecting with Raw. And it's funny because Jim Cornette does his same old school dumb crap on NWA Powerrr, and it's like the best thing ever. Jerry Lawler does his thing now, and it's like, dude, this is not the time to do it. Just fucking call it a match and just be better. Like,
because it fits the show, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it had that atmosphere. Like, when Jim Cornette was at MLW, right? I love MLW. But, like, I didn't like his commentary in MLW. I more so love fucking Tony Schiavone on there. They have a new guy on there now. Like, you gotta see, like, how I feel about him. But, yeah.
It's going to take a while to warm up to the new guy. Just saying. Yeah. I think his name is like Alex something. I couldn't catch the last name, but his name was like Alex something. He's kind of more laid back than anybody because Rich Mulkini was taking over most of the work in MLW for the commentary, and it's like, yeah, I want to hear from the new guy. He'll just like say, yeah, and then like just lay out and it's like, dude, you're supposed to be the lead announcer here. Come on, like keep up with Rich.
Yeah, like he was like, I don't know, it was weird. Like he really didn't say anything at all.
He said a few lines, but like they weren't memorable lines or lines that you go, oh shit, that's cool. It was like he's here, And he's here. That's all. But yeah, back to Raw.
Yeah.
So they did a tag team match at the end of the night. The tag team champions, the Kabuki Warriors versus Natty and a mystery partner. So the whole night it had everybody going, oh, well, who's going to be the mystery partner? You know who a mystery partner was?
We even talked about it. We went through, it either was like a returning person. Well, I said a returning person. Like, for instance, like a Nia Jax or something like that. And you said probably a new signee.
Yes.
You know what
And we were both wrong. It was Lacey Evans. And for those who don't know, for the last 3 weeks, Lacey Evans and Natty been trying to kill each other. And now they were a fucking tag team together. I was like, what the fuck?
I feel like it's longer than that, but okay.
It's been longer than that. I just remember the last 3 weeks them trying to kill each other. She hit her with a trash can last week. Like in the face. What the fuck? And now they were a tag team. But they lost, thank God. And then we had the most controversial part of the show that has everybody talking and speculating. So Seth Rollins in the beginning of the show said he was going to go fiend hunting. And he went and found a fiend at the Firefly Funhouse, and he did what he does to everything in his whole entire life. He burnt it down.
That pissed me off. That legit pissed me off.
That pissed a lot of people off, and that led to a lot of speculation going, hey, they burned it down because Fox doesn't like that. That's not why they burned it down. They burned it down for shock value.
Okay.
It was basically for shock value. They like give him something. The Firefly Funhouse will probably be back, if not next week, the week after. Just saying. And he's definitely coming to Raw because he has a bunch of Raw title matches. There's one cage match advertised in November. And also, the biggest one, the Crown Jewel one. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match in Crown Jewel. Seth Rollins versus The Fiend for the Universal title.
Which that fucks me up, though, because Seth Rollins also has another match at Crown Jewel, which is Team Hogan versus Team Flair. And he's the team captain of Team Hogan.
Wait, they just announced earlier today that he is no longer on Team Hogan.
Oh, really?
So he's gonna. Yeah, they actually fixed it. They thought about it and said, "Fuck it, we fixing this."
Okay, so who's the team captain now, or no one knows?
They didn't make one yet.
Okay. All right, like I didn't know that. That's why you're the news guy.
But Bray Wyatt Fiend versus Seth Rollins in the Falls Count Anywhere match. The last time they had a weird Falls Count Anywhere match, it ended in a DQ.
They did versus Samoa Joe. Or were they?
Yeah, I thought it was Nakamura. It was Nakamura.
Yeah. I know they did Styles for sure.
And if this ends in a fucking DQ, don't ever put the Fiend and Seth Rollins near each other again. Fucking separate them to the ends of the earth. Never let them touch. Never let them be near each other. Fuck that.
Keep being on SmackDown.
And then Seth Rollins, after he burned down a Firefly Funhouse, got on Twitter and goes, "Well, what did you expect me to do, man?" Nothing. You could have just walked the fuck away and just said nothing. Just leave it alone. Leave the fuck alone. But no, he had to be a dickhead and do his dickhead thing. Congratulations. Congrats.
Like, he irks me on fucking Twitter.
He irks everybody. He irks his own soul. Like, those 3 days that he decided to block himself from Twitter was the best days for him and everybody else. Like, dude probably is a nice guy, but like, you're coming across like an asshole. Like, just stop. Just fucking stop. Just stop. Like, you're not doing anything good for yourself or the company. Just stop. Just stop. Just try better to be you in the ring and then just try to be a better person on Twitter. Like, just stop. Come on, dude.
Exactly.
Because, like, you're pissing so many people off on Twitter. And it's like, yo, just stop saying stuff. Like, you say the wrong things on Twitter and piss people off. Just relax. Relax. But speaking of Crown Jewel, there's a tag team gauntlet with every tag team on Raw and SmackDown to see who's the best tag team in the world. How do you feel about that?
The running joke there is that Shane McMahon is going to like take the place of one of the competitors.
I hope he does it. I hope he does it because I think this whole tag team gauntlet is complete bullshit.
I mean, the original thing with having the best in the world thing was complete bullshit. You know what I mean? Because that was supposed to be like a World Cup. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but this, I just feel like, okay, for WWE, and they saying the best tag team in the world. I'm sorry, the Usos are one of the best tag teams on, like, the main roster. Them and the Revival, like, the rest of the teams don't cut it. Sorry, the rest of the teams don't cut it. Just those two teams are the best two teams on Raw and SmackDown. Sorry,
I don't
like,
even think the Usos are in it.
They're not in it. The Usos are not in it at all because they're not. They haven't even been drafted or talked about. They're not in it at all. They're gone. Like, they're still with the company. They're just not in anybody's sight. I don't know if they're getting repackaged. I don't know what the fuck is happening. The Usos are just fucking gone. They're just gone. Like, they don't exist at all. They don't bring them up. They don't talk about shit. It's like the Usos are just gone. And it's like, what the fuck?
They could have used like some NXT tag teams too, and NXT UK. But they're just right.
If they did that, all of those tag teams on the main roster would still lose. Because Undisputed Era would be in it. And they're the best fucking team. But whatever. Run your little shenanigans tournament, WWE. Whatever.
But in NXT, you have, like you said, Undisputed Era. You have, in NXT UK, you have Imperium. You have,
Oni Lorch and Danny Birkin.
Yeah. What was the other one? Gallus.
You have the Grizzled Young Vets.
The Hunt. I don't know which NXT they're on, but they're on one of them.
They're on UK, I think. See, it's just so many good tag teams at NXT, but hey, they just want to do this main roster thing. Whatever.
As for my thoughts on it, because you asked me my thoughts, like, I don't care.
That's how I feel right now about it. I don't care. Don't care.
Yeah. Like, to be honest with you, I don't care about the whole show.
Oh, come on, man. You got to care because it's going to be Mansoor versus Cesaro. You got to care about those guys.
What's the last relevant thing Mansoor did except win the Greatest Royal Rumble, which still is not relevant then?
He was on D.O. Madden's Twitch. That's it. Ha. D.O. Madden's Twitch. That's the last relevant thing he did. Ha. Now, take that.
It's not even relevant because he doesn't even use it anymore. He let everybody else use it.
All righty. All right.
Killian Dane was on there. So, like, what the hell?
Killian Dane got lost. He didn't know where he was going. He just winded up on the Twitch channel. That's what happened.
Yeah.
He was on my Twitch channel, and I don't even have one. See? What's happened?
Other than that, last I checked, the Team Hogan versus Team Flair thing, it was Team Hogan, which was before it was Seth Rollins, then they added Rusev, then last I checked they had Ricochet, right?
Yep.
I'm not sure if they added anybody else after that, right?
As of checking right now, that's officially the lineup for that side.
And then on the other side was Captain Randy Orton,
Mm-hmm.
King Baron Corbin.
Uh-huh.
It was two more because I know they had an extra person. I forget.
It was Nakamura. And I don't know who else was there after Nakamura.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's your teams right now.
As of right now.
Oh, and then you have Brock Lesnar, the WWE champion, going against Cain Velasquez. That one I'm slightly intrigued for.
Oh, yeah. And also Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman, Brad.
Another match I don't care about. Like, the only match I care about is the Cain Velasquez one, because I actually seen him wrestle. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he is really good.
But yeah, that's pretty much as of right now the rundown for Crown Jewel, unless I forgot something.
No, that's pretty much it. They're going to probably name one other weird crap match, and that's it.
I don't even know when the show is, to be honest with you.
It's on Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually on a Thursday, which is weird.
That is weird.
Now let's talk about Wednesday Night Wednesday.
Wednesday Night Wars.
That's what I meant to say. I just Wednesdayed twice. But yeah, last night AEW versus NXT, as always. So, how do you feel about NXT AEW? That's what I meant to say. How do you feel about AEW? Because that's the one you watched.
Once again, like, it was lackluster. Only thing I really liked probably was the main event, which was Darby Allin versus Chris Jericho. I almost said Cody Rhodes.
Wrong person, but okay, yeah.
For the title and whatever, and it was what was the match? Because like it's so many variations of that match. It wasn't hard.
It was a street fight.
Street fight, okay. Because it goes by different names. It's all the same shit. Hardcore, Extreme Rules, whatever.
Yeah. It was okay. It was okay. Like, the match was good because Darby Allin was in it. That's what made it good.
That's the only one that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, I mean, Jericho's good, but Jericho's good at certain things, not everything. Not like everybody thinks he's only good at certain things. But, like, that match was really good. We had LAX have a match. Who they wrestled, but they beat him in, like, strong fashion. So they could set up the match for them versus the Young Bucks at Full Gear, which I know that they're going to beat the Young Bucks because it's LAX. They're the best tag team in the business. Period. Also on that show, it was Riho versus Britt Baker, which was pretty good.
The ending caught me off guard. I swore Britt had that shit.
Riho starting to grow on me, and Britt Baker took that loss, but I have a feeling she's going to have a heel turn next week.
Okay.
Because they're going to be in Pittsburgh, which is her city, and she's going to have microphone time. I have a feeling she's going to turn.
Okay.
And I'm okay with her being a bad guy. We also had the tag team tournament matches, which one was SCU versus the Best Friends, and they beat up Christopher Daniels before the match, and Scorpio Sky had to come in and take his place. Scorpio Sky lost both of his shoes. I hope he got them back because walking around with no shoes is weird. And SCU did win to move on. And later on, we had Pentagon and Phoenix versus Jurassic Express, which was...
Before you go on to that one, right? Then you discussed, right, about SCU, right? Where, like, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, like, they have better chemistry because they've been together longer, right? But
Yes.
Kazarian and Scorpio Sky is the way better team. And we discussed it. Neither one of us remembers if Scorpio Sky or Christopher Daniels ever teamed up. So my question is, like, for the listeners and whatever, can someone answer that? Because, like, for the life of me, I can't remember. So yeah, that's all I want to know. I wanted to pose a question out there.
Yes, please answer that because I cannot remember either.
But yeah, it was. You saying the Lucha Bros?
Yes, the Lucha Bros versus Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy.
That was weird to me too, because I felt it should have been Luchasaurus, but they did explain it. Apparently, Luchasaurus is injured.
Yeah, like that kind of caught me off guard because I didn't even hear he was injured.
Yeah,
that's the weird part. I didn't even hear that. But yeah, the Pentagon and Phoenix one. I'd see that it's going to be Pentagon and Phoenix versus SCU in the finals of the tournament.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because I'm putting my money on SCU being the first tag champs.
Okay.
And I feel like it was one more match on AEW, but I don't know what it was. Oh, that's right. It was Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus
Moxley and Pac.
There it goes. And during the match, Moxley just turned on Pac. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, like randomly, because Moxley basically wanted to do his hardcore shit, beat the shit out of Kenny with, I want to say it was a fucking baseball bat or some shit.
Barbed wire baseball bat. AKA.
But Pac tried to stop him. And we're like, are you crazy? Like, I'm trying to win him, whatever. Bam. I'm gonna call it Dirty Deeds, but I forget the fucking name of it.
The paradigm shift here.
I'm gonna go with Dirty Deeds. I like that better. But yeah, basically, like, what happened there, like, next week, they're gonna have a match against each other, Pac and Moxley. So.
Yep. I have a thing, but I'm gonna say it after I give my NXT review.
Okay.
So that was it for AEW. NXT was good. It was really good. So Roderick Strong ended the match between Keith Lee and Donovan Dijakovic. But before that, Velveteen Dream had got beat up by the Undisputed Era and taken out. And next week he had a North American title match. And because he got beat up by them, they said he was going to be out for a while. So now, because Donovan Dijakovic and Keith Lee's match was messed up by Roderick Strong, it is now a three-way for the North American title next week.
Ooh.
And I just read a rumor that Keith Lee is injured, but I didn't check up on it, and I'm just going by what I hear right now. So that was a match. Also, Tommaso Ciampa fought Angel Garza, and he did a funny thing in the match where I fucking popped. A couple people didn't like it, but I fucking popped. Angel Garza, when he's in a match, he takes off his pants, and he took off his pants, and Ciampa threw him out the ring, and Ciampa just proceeded to attack his pants. I know it sounds weird, but he attacked his pants. And then as soon as Angel Garza got in the ring, he DDT'd him. 1, 2, 3, match over.
I gotta watch that later.
Oh, you definitely have to watch that. Also, we had a match between Bianca Belair and it was Io Shirai and Lacey Lane, who I don't know her new name, but her name is Lacey Lane. Io Shirai beat Lacey Lane and basically called out Shayna Baszler.
Lacey Lane is the one that I compare to Ember Moon a lot, right? Like she had that same atmosphere and all that.
Yep,
right?
that's her.
Okay.
And Io Shirai won the match. She basically challenged Shayna. And because she challenged Shayna, Rhea Ripley came out. And when Rhea Ripley came out, Rhea Ripley basically told her, yo, you're going to have to get behind me because I'm up next. And then Rhea Ripley challenged Bianca Belair. And that match will be next week.
Like, Shayna has so many, people going after her. Like, my speculation is that's going to wind up being a multi-person match.
Well, I'm glad you said that because Tegan Nox had a return match. And Tegan Nox won her match. And Shayna Baszler came out and confronted her.
Oh, okay.
Confronted her. Dakota Kai was next to her, so she basically called out both of them, which adds 2 more names to the list for Shayna Baszler. And this has turned into a big thing for her. I don't know who or what or when or how she's going to fight all of these people.
Like, at this point, it sounds like an 8-way. Maybe my number's off, but like it sounds like an 8-way at this point.
It might be more than that. It might be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Also, the main event of NXT was Damian Priest versus Pete Dunne. I wanted this to happen. Didn't think it was going to happen. But Damian Priest beat Pete Dunne. It was an awesome match, though. That match was pretty badass.
I caught the tail end of that, and it was good.
It was a really good match. So yeah, like AEW and NXT were probably pretty much tied this week. But the thing I wanted to get to that I wanted to talk to about AEW and NXT, this war is turning out to be a little bit too much for both companies because they're running through a bunch of good matches that they should save and build up because they have weekly television. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of not a good thing, but I don't know. Right now, I feel like it's not a good thing because they're running through match after match after match after all these big matches that they could have been saving up, but they'll figure something out. Like
Darby Allin versus Chris Jericho, that's pay-per-view worthy right there.
Yeah. It was a lot. Pac versus Moxley, which is going to be next week. That's pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah.
Like, it's so many pay-per-view worthy matches that they're like, you know what? We're going to give them away for free.
That NXT North American title 3-way next week. That's pay-per-view worthy.
Exactly. The Damian Priest and Pete Dunne match was pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah, like they're treating them like throwaways in essence.
Basically. But they'll figure something out maybe, or they'll just keep running through all of these matches until we're like, yo, you guys have nothing else to throw at us, so we're bored.
Basically.
And speaking of throwing stuff at people, how about Eric Bischoff getting thrown out of WWE?
That was weird, man. That was so weird.
He's only been there for like 3 or 4 months as the general manager of SmackDown. And then all of a sudden, he's done. He's just out of there. They just say, you know what? You're fired. We're replacing you with Bruce Pritchard. It's like, why'd you hire him if you're going to fire him? And the logical answer is there is none. But my answer is this was a setup from the beginning. This whole thing was a work.
Small guy.
Basically.
Like, we said it when he got hired. Like, okay, you said general manager, but they're actually directors or producers or some shit.
Executive director or some shit.
Yeah, it was Eric Bischoff for SmackDown and Paul Heyman for Raw.
Yep.
And ever since Paul Heyman took over, Raw has been significantly better.
It's been great.
Yeah, but SmackDown's always been good and whatever. You don't see any significant changes and whatnot. So the whole time, me and Viper thinking, okay, when is he taking over? You had the well, maybe he's gonna take over after the Fox deal goes down. Fox
Yep.
deal goes down. A few weeks later, Bischoff's gone. What the hell?
The Fox deal goes down, he goes down.
Exactly. So it's like, what the hell? Like, what even was the point?
There was really no point there. It was none. But yeah, he's gone. And everybody wanted him to show up on AEW, which I thought was really stupid of them. Like, no. Just let him be. It's not like there's nothing wrong with Eric Bischoff. It's just, that's too stupid of AEW. They would have did that. They would have looked like just some WWE jobbers. Hey, look, it's a WWE guy that just got fired. Look, we're showing him off.
They would have done like old school TNA and whatever. Like every single WWE person who got fired, they would hire and give a monster push to.
Exactly. That's what I don't want from them.
Some of them deserving, because like Christian made a good champion over there.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, Rhino. You know.
I mean, Rhino was an ECW champion.
It did the last day.
But yeah, it was good.
But yeah, that's a thing. Like
Yeah.
they shouldn't do that. Like Bischoff just needs to go off into the sunset. Just forget about wrestling. That's initially what he was going to do.
Yeah, just do his podcast because that's okay. I agree with his podcast.
Just do your thing. Like he has like television deals and whatnot that he also does. So he really doesn't need to be in wrestling.
And also, I wouldn't be too surprised if he made a shit ton of money off of this whole thing, and that's why he's okay with this whole thing just being over.
Yeah. Got paid to sing your fucking ass.
Basically. But yeah. That's what happened there.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the land of the rising sun.
Japan. If none of you get that joke, I'm gonna be mad.
There is rumors going around that there's going to be an NXT Japan. This has been a rumor for a long time, and it's getting closer and closer to becoming a reality. So
Dude, this is a rumor before NXT UK was a thing.
Exactly.
Because the initial rumor was NXT UK, NXT. Originally, they was calling it NXT Asia.
Yep.
So now it's Japan. And the third one, which eventually might happen, is NXT, what is it? Latin America.
Yes.
Which probably wind up being Mexico when it's all said and done.
Yes. And I can see the Mexican one going down very easily because of the whole CMLL being in disarray thing.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
So you don't think it's going to happen as long, like the distance between UK and Japan? Like you think like right after Japan we'll probably get like Latin America, Mexico, what have you, like a little bit after that.
Yeah, I think it'll be like a little bit after that because right now I see like CMLL in disarray, which is a perfect opportunity for WWE to step in and say, hey, we got money. Look, just let us take this off your hands. We'll fix everything. And that's where they go from there.
Yeah.
And their like adventures in Japan are really weird and funny. Like they tried to buy Pro Wrestling Noah and Noah said no. They're like right now they're trying to buy like Wrestle One and Dragon Gate and a couple other promotions. They're trying to buy established companies and put their footprint in those companies, like in NXT Japan. I don't know how all of that's gonna work. I really don't.
Kind of like how they did with UK.
No, but it's kind of different with Japan because UK only had like 2 or 3 promotions. Like Japan has like 7 or 8 big promotions that people pay attention to. like they might not be like super prominent with Americans, but it's a big deal to a lot of Japanese people. These companies. So them jumping in and saying, "Hey, we're a new company," people are gonna be like, okay. If they jump in with like established talent, like they take from like a Dragon Gate or All Japan or something like that, that like people will pop and be like, "Oh, you know what? Let's go over here and watch this WWE NXT show."
Yeah.
But like they have to play it smartly, and I don't see them playing it smartly, but we'll find out how that works. They even tried to buy Stardom, which fell through because they didn't do it the right way. They went to Stardom and said, "Hey, we want to buy you." And the owner said, "Well, what do you want to do?" "We don't know yet. We just want to buy you." "Okay, I'm not selling."
Oh shit.
And then New Japan's parent company, which is Bushiroad, they decided to buy Stardom. And the guy asked them, said, "Hey, what do you want to do with our company?" They gave him a list of things that they wanted to do. And they also said, "Yeah, we'll match whatever WWE's trying to pay you." He said, "You know what? I wasn't going to really sell at all, but you know what? Fuck it, I'm selling." And now Stardom is part of Bushiroad, which is the parent company in New Japan. And to all of those people who keep saying, "New Japan needs a women's division," there will be no women's division. In Japan, it is different than America. The women have their own thing, and women are actually good. So shut up.
So in essence, Stardom would be like a sister company to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And here's the funny thing, like I've always thought of Stardom as a sister company to New Japan because Stardom was always it had become one of the biggest female promotions over there because they have a whole lot of talent. 90% of the women that come through NXT have been in Stardom. And Stardom is like a huge place for the women wrestling. Like, I just happened to stumble upon them and just fell in love with all of the women of Stardom. They have so much to give. They have factions. They have like whole storylines. It's like you look at it and it's like, oh shit, this is wrestling, but it just has women. That's it. That's the only thing. And like, it's not like, oh, it's the women's match, men's match, women's match, men's match. It's all women. That's it. And the thing is, it's like it started to grow so much that the whole entire audience, like in the beginning, it was just like women and men. Now it's like multiplied. Now it's multiplied and just dominated by men that are there to watch these women wrestle. Not in no like pervy way. They're just there to watch them wrestle and watch these storylines unfold.
Like, they're actually good.
Yeah, because they're really good.
Yeah.
And I've always loved Stardom, and now they're going to be on a bigger stage. The only thing I'm pissed off about with this Stardom deal is I still have to pay for my Stardom subscription separately from my New Japan subscription.
Oh wait, so like the deal doesn't put them together?
Here's why. Because Stardom has a different TV deal than New Japan, because the Stardom deal is with a different television company from the TV company that New Japan has. New Japan has this one, and they're right, like the two companies are rivals. So because they're rivals, they can't work together. Until the deal is done, they can't work together.
Okay.
So like, I think probably like in the next 2 years, when the television deal is done with Stardom and the other station, they'll probably be able to switch over to New Japan World. But as of right now,
like Raw and SmackDown, right?
Yeah, it's something similar to Raw and SmackDown, like USA and Fox. It's just like that. So I'll just have to pay another $9. This is okay. Whatever.
I mean, in retrospect, at least you're not paying for pay-per-views.
Exactly, and hopefully they do change up one thing with Stardom. Instead of like Stardom will have a show and they won't be live. It'll be like a day or two delay. And I just want to see it live. And I hope that once New Japan steps in, Bushiroad steps in, everything will be live and we don't have to wait. Which would super be great. But yeah, that's my Stardom take.
Sounds like a good thing.
Definitely a good thing because, I feel Stardom will be on the level of New Japan as far as women's wrestling in the next year.
Okay.
Like they're already popular to a certain circle of wrestling fans, but they're going to be huge to everybody. Because the owner of Bushiroad, which is the head of everything, he said, I'm going to give them the same kind of treatment I give New Japan. They're going to be all over. They're going to be in everything. The way New Japan is the biggest company in Japan, they're going to be the second biggest company. And I'm like, well, goddamn, that makes sense. And they took a picture afterwards, and everybody just popped because it's this feel that when they do the G1, that the guys go take a picture and it's kind of a monumental thing. And after the press conference, all the women of Stardom went out there and took a picture in that same field, and everybody was like, "Oh, okay, that means they really care. They care." Because it just meant something different. It was like, "Oh, they care. They care." So yeah, that's the thing with Stardom in Japan.
That's awesome.
Hey, you had something you wanted to talk about, the Lethal Lottery. Let's talk about it.
Oh yeah, me and Viper had this thing where on a personal level we'll be talking about something in wrestling world, and it actually happens. For instance, we've been wanting War Games back for the longest. All of a sudden, it's back. We want certain people to come to WWE. Oh, they're there. So I want the Lethal Lottery, and I'm gonna put it out on the podcast and whatever. That's how bad I want it. So yeah, and if you don't know what the Lethal Lottery is, I'm bad at explaining stuff, so I'm gonna let Viper explain it and whatever, because it's a WCW thing. So go.
Okay, the Lethal Lottery was a pick of it's two superstars put together at random, and they're part of a tag team. And it could be two bad guys, two good guys, a bad guy and a good guy, two guys that are feuding. A tag team could be broken up, and they put them together, and they have these matches. They go on to the next round of the match, and then they go into a battle royal. The winner of the battle royal wins a title shot. But you have to team up with your partner and actually win the match to get to this point. And it's so creative and good because you never know who's going to be with who. You'll have one person walk out, like Seth Rollins will walk out, and he'll pick the person that he's going to team up with, and he'll probably team up with Bartender Corbin. Just random. And then their opponent will come out, which will probably be like Roman Reigns or somebody. And Roman Reigns would have to team up with The Fiend or somebody like that and be like, okay. They have to have these matches, and whoever wins go on to the next round.
Or you'll have something even crazy like Seth Rollins and The Fiend in one team. You could have, the reunited shield of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Anything could happen.
Seth Rollins and Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Or Mojo Rawley. I was trying to think of somebody that sucked. Chad Gable's actually cool.
Yeah. Kurt Hawkins?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, just like that.
you can, and I'm bringing old people. You could have something, for instance, you could have a Hornswoggle teaming up with the Great Khali.
It'll be just like that.
Like they totally random and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like you could have some crappy things happen from it, right? But you could also have some awesome stuff happen from it too.
Exactly.
I want to say at one point, like in WCW, and correct me if I'm wrong, because again, you're the WCW guy, you're the informative guy. They had one where it was Sting, and he was forcefully like teaming up with Cactus Jack, which at the time he was feuding with.
Yes, that was a thing.
And Cactus, like halfway through the match, or maybe it was the beginning of the match, he beat the shit out of him.
Yes, he did. He beat the living crap out of him. That was funny.
Yeah. Like it's so interesting and whatnot, you know what I mean? And then like at the end of it, you could have someone you always wanted like to finally get a push, you know?
Basically, because in one of the lethal lotteries, DDP won, and DDP was like a nobody at the time. So yeah, like anything can happen in a lethal lottery.
So I want that.
Yes. And speaking of things we want, I'm putting it out on the podcast. Killer Kross to a major wrestling promotion. Please. I know he has this little fiasco thing going on with Impact where he's kind of stuck under contract and they won't let him go. Please put Killer Kross in AEW, WWE, MLW, New Japan, somewhere. Please, for God. Just let him be on a show.
That whole situation sounds like on some Lucha Underground type of shit.
It basically is. And I don't understand why they're holding him hostage and they let everybody else go. Like, they even let his wife/girlfriend go, Scarlett Bordeaux, who is now signed to NXT. Like, just let him go, please. Like, I understand they think that, he's like one of the greatest, like, right now. Yes, that's true. He is. But you're not doing anything with him, and you're basically just shitting on him. Just let him go. Let him go so he can prosper somewhere else. He deserves it. Killer Kross is the man. Please just let him go somewhere where he can have fun and make money, and we can all watch him and just be in awe of his psychoticness. Please. That's what I'm asking.
Because they're not doing themselves any favors by pissing them off. You know what I mean? Because, like, I'll give you two examples, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, and this was going far back when we had, like, Velocity and Sunday Night Heat in WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Kazarian came to WWE. But from TNA and whatever, right? But he left on good terms. Apparently, it didn't work out for him in WWE, right? So he went straight back to TNA and whatever, and you know he kind of flourished. Like he won multiple. Not sure if that run he won the X Division title, but he won multiple tag team championships and whatnot. So he did pretty well for himself. The other one, and I want to say this was like a few years ago and whatever. Like it's not that far. You'll probably remember the year. James Storm. He was in NXT. Made 1 or 2 appearances. Apparently that didn't work out for him. He went back to TNA.
Yep.
And like, you know, he had a good run there. Mind you, I know neither one of them work in Impact Wrestling right now currently. James Storm, as we said earlier, is in NWA, and of course Frankie Kazarian is in AEW and whatnot. But
yes.
You know, at the time, you know, them breaking ties with Impact Wrestling / TNA was a good thing, but they did it the right way, and Impact handled it right. You know what I mean?
Yes. You know a person who they also handled right, but they actually handled wrong?
Who?
Tennille Dashwood. Like, she's not even fucking signed. Like, her contract is... They put her over and they made her a fucking star. And her contract is up the end of October. You know where she's going at the end of October? Right to fucking AEW. But they can't let Killer Kross go. But yeah, whatever.
Apparently, and like, you could tell me how true this is and whatnot, right? Another situation that's similar to that is the Luke Harper situation. Apparently, he's trying to get fired desperately. People are saying
This is the thing with Luke Harper, and that's going to bring me into a segue of something else too. But here's the thing with Luke Harper. Luke Harper just wants to wrestle. That's all. Yeah. That's all he wants. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care if it's there or somewhere else. If they're not going to let him wrestle, he wants to go. If they figure out a way to let him wrestle, he's fine. He said, I'll go to NXT. I'll do whatever, just as long as I get to wrestle. I just want to wrestle. He was like, I just want to make money and wrestle. That's all I want to do. I'll stay if they let me wrestle. They have me sitting home doing nothing. I just want to wrestle.
Yeah.
And that brings me up the Mike Kanellis situation. So Mike Kanellis is apparently, quote unquote, trying to leave. I don't really know how I feel about it because I feel one way about it because Mike Kanellis just signed a 5-year contract with them. And then he just turns around and says, you know what? Fuck it. I want to leave. And he said, because I'm not getting chances and I'm not wrestling. Mike Kanellis just had shot a big angle on 205 Live before he decided to say, I quit.
Yep.
So I don't know how to feel for him. And Maria said, you know what? I'm not quitting. I'm staying here. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know how these two, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with those two. I don't get it. Because one minute you want to be part of the company, then the next you want to quit. I don't know. You both of them signed a contract, and then all of a sudden they're ready to go. But I don't know.
That was as recent as, I want to say, June, you told me?
It was June.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Mike Kanellis. And it's not like I'm hating on Mike Kanellis or anything. It's, you just signed a contract. Like, you can't be that mad. You just signed a contract, and then a couple months later, you're like, fuck that, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I
don't sign.
Exactly. And it wasn't like, you just signed a short contract. You signed a 5-year contract with 5-year contract money. And then you get mad and say, you know what? Fuck this. I want out. And it's like, dude, like, I can understand if, like, you were on television for a little while. Yes, we were on television for like 2 months and then they stopped. But your wife got pregnant, which, like, kind of threw your whole storyline off. And it's like, I don't know how to feel about you. I don't know if I should be mad at you and, like, not care, or I should care because, like, you're a good wrestler, but that's still has nothing to do with you re-signing and staying there. But whatever. How do you feel about that situation?
I'm indifferent. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't make a difference if he stays or goes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man.
Like, we'll see tomorrow night on 205 Live if he shows back up. Because, like I said, he does have an angle on 205 Live. We'll see what happens on that show.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be, like, quote-unquote, be, like, friends with Brian Kendrick right now, so.
Yes, and he has beef with Akira Tozawa.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you got anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing off the top of my head. Not unless you can remind me something. You know me with my bad memory.
Oh, and also, throwing this out there, I would like a G1 style round robin tournament in NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that in NXT, and I want it to happen soon. I want people to get points for tag team matches. I want people to get points for 3-ways. I want people to get points all different ways. Switch it up, make it a little bit different and weird than the regular G1. NXT, just do it. I'm throwing it out there, which means it's going to happen eventually.
Basically, so we're getting a G1 style tournament and Lethal Lottery. Oh.
Yep. So yeah, like nothing else.
Nothing else.
Okay, well, I guess we end it.
With a leap lottery. Boom.
Screw that. We're out.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.